please rise? Ms. Glassman, will you please lead us in the pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing and join the board in a moment of silence as we honor our first responders, our veterans, and our active military. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our work session, the last one for the month of June. I will entertain a motion for approval of bills and payroll.
Motion.
Motion by trustee Solosky, seconded by trustee Casado. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Rivera.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Resolved to authorize the clerk of the Justice Court to attend the 2024 New York State Association of Magistrates Court Clerks Annual Training Conference, September 29th through October 3rd, 2024, in Niagara Falls, New York.
Entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Deputy Mayor Sartori, seconded by trustee Casado. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I just have one personnel item. Resolved to authorize the hiring of seasonal employees for the John S. DeVanzo Community Pool and the Summer Recreation Program.
Okay, this should be the last addition to that list.
Correct.
As the pool
Yep.
has opened, but it's only 2 names. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion by trustee Solosky. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Deputy Mayor Sartori. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rivera. Mr. Reedy.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the board. First item I have for your consideration this evening is a request for a resolution authorizing change order number 2 to the 2024 street lighting contract to supply and install HAPCO York 17 light poles for use in walkway lighting in our village parks. The vendor is Dennis O'Regan Electric Incorporated, and the cost for each would be $4,800, and then this would be incorporated into the contract. This we're using because we are contemplating some work in Wilson Park and adding some walkway lighting that we don't have in there. So this will give us just the pole we need. Every other component that we would need to do that work is already in that contract.
Entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion by trustee Casado. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Clark. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. The next item I have is a request for a resolution authorizing the expansion of the curb cut and driveway apron at 340 McNeil Place. So the expansion of the curb cut shall be 6.55 feet. The expansion of the driveway apron shall be 19.15 square feet. Again, this is in the area we're now conducting the 2024 road reconstruction, so we've had a couple of these requests coming in, and just asking you to allow that for these residents.
Right, so we're just approving the authorization to do it, but they are doing it at their own cost.
Correct.
Correct. Okay. Entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Deputy Mayor Sartori. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Clark. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And-
Motion carries.
And just to be clear on that, so the board understands, in the contract, we're already paying for what was existing, and they're paying for the difference. So what we're doing to ensure that we don't have confusion out there is we're figuring it out based on the contract price, and when they come for the permit, we have the cost of the permit plus the cost of the expansion, and they pay us for that. So this way, there's no confusion when we're doing our measuring on quantities on the contract. So it's like, well, I didn't do that one, you did this one.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a little more paperwork on our end, but it actually makes it a lot easier for the residents and a lot clearer when we're, formulating the bills with the contractor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item I have is a request for a resolution to authorize the purchase of a total of 109 water meters ranging in size from 1 inch to 3 inches and the related hardware and wall-mounted radios. Vendor is Rio Neptune. Cost is $83,095. Funding source is the 2024-2025 water fund budget and/or the water fund unreserved fund balance. As the board is aware, as we're doing our LCRR inspections for the lead and copper rule, we are finding problems with meters out there that have to be replaced, things like that. They're either broken, stopped, or not functioning properly. So that's why we're purchasing some of these. And these are some of the larger meters that are in the commercial areas. So that's why the cost is a little more than, you know, what you have seen if you look at the price quote that accompanies your package.
I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion by trustee Solosky, seconded by trustee Casado. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. The next item I have is request for a resolution to authorize an engineering service contract to provide a requirements contract for carbon media purchase. Engineers are our village engineers, D&B Engineers and Architects. Cost is $10,000. The funding source is the 2024-2025 water fund budget and/or the water fund unreserved fund balance. As we're now going through treatment through GACs, well number 7, which was the first one completed, we are now 4 years into using that, and the lead vessel, we have 2 vessels in there, the lead vessel is now starting to show breakthrough at the 100% mark, which is at the base of that. So probably within the next 6 months or so, we'll be needing to change out that carbon. So this will give us a contract that we can extend, and it'll also have, you know, carbon media as well as other types of carbon media that is used. And this way we'll be able to have that in place once we need to make that change out.
Okay, and this is like a filter, basically changing.
It's a giant Brita filter.
Exactly. Entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion by
Second.
Deputy Mayor Sartori, seconded by trustee Casado. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. The next item I have is a request for a resolution to authorize change order number 6 to the Wilson Park Field Turf project that we had done. We're looking to expand the height of the north side fence, and in doing so, we'll be able to increase that height by 6 feet. This will allow us to basically, every other post on the fence, we'll raise that up an additional 6 feet. Use a turnbuckle and cable system across the top to secure a nylon netting across the top there. We've experienced some issues with balls being kicked over into the adjacent neighbors' backyards in Westbury Avenue, and obviously we don't want to have that. So total cost of that is $9,700, and that would come out of the general 2024-2025 general fund budget and/or the general fund unreserved fund balance.
Yeah, it's an easy one. We have received several concerns from those neighbors, and we also don't want children or anyone to go into people's backyards and private property. There are dogs, there are other issues, so this will certainly mitigate a large amount of those concerns, I'm sure. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion by trustee Solosky, seconded by trustee Casado. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, and I do have 2 personnel items. The first is a request for a resolution authorizing a $2 per hour merit increase for labor supervisor Michael Palumbo in the Highway Department. Unfortunately, due to an oversight, Michael was left off the list last week, so I just want to correct that and make sure we got that in.
Yeah, absolutely. Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Deputy Mayor Sartori. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Clark. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. The next item is a request for a resolution accepting the civil service transfer and employment of Dennis Guvatsos as a water plant operator with a CDL-A license, as well as experience in operating the advanced oxidation process reactor, which will be, starting by the end of the year at well number 4. As the board is aware, we did lose a few employees in the water department, one of which was a water operator. So we found Dennis, who is a qualified water operator for a number of years, and again, because he has that experience operating the AOP reactor, we could certainly use that.
Yeah.
So I am recommending that we hire him. It is a civil service transfer from the Water Authority of Great Neck North, and they have signed off on that, so we're just waiting now, but I do need, an employment, obviously, resolution from the board.
Absolutely. That's a department that we need to, maintain fully staffed, and when we can get someone with experience, certainly we'll take it. Entertain a motion?
Motion.
Motion by trustee Casado. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Deputy Mayor Sartori. All in favor?
Excuse me.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. Thank you. Mr. Gibbons?
I do not have a report, Mayor.
Okay. I will entertain a motion to close the work session.
Motion.
Motion by trustee Salaski, seconded by trustee Casado. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Folks, we'll be out in 5 minutes for the public meeting.